Okay, I'm glad that you can hear me. Let's get into it. My name is Chichi, and welcome back to Women in Tech Thursdays. We're really excited to have you here at GDG. If you have been here before, you have joined one of our meetings or sessions like this, welcome home. And then if you're new here, let me just give you some insights on exactly what this is. So, it's basically a space for women in tech. Okay. It's basically a space for women in tech in the industry to come together to share their stories, drop some gems, spark some conversation, let us know what's going on in the tech space, especially from a woman's perspective, which is very important in this day and age, you know. And here at GDG, we're all about uplifting women, so it's really exciting to have this back again. So every Thursday, we really just try to sit down with women that are shaping the future, and not just in theory but practically shaping our future. It's raw, it's honest, and it's a reminder that your path in tech doesn't always come smooth. It doesn't look like anybody else's, but it is yours, and we're here to hear it. And if again this is your first time, and even if it's not, let us know. Catch us on LinkedIn, Instagram, and Twitter. Tell us how the session was. Post, repost our posts, interact with us. We want to know, what do you guys want to hear next time we come together on these Thursdays? And today we are joined by someone who lives and breathes. I did some LinkedIn stalking, which I suggest you guys all do for our speaker that's coming up. Adiza, she's an IA engineer and community leader whose work spans research, innovation, and empowerment. So this is whether she's training youth through global AI programs, leading projects that combine tech and real world impact, or even speaking on international stages. Adiza brings both brilliance and heart to everything she does, all the way from Ghana. So I hope you guys are ready to clap your hands wherever you are on the other side, because I know I am. So take out your laptops right now, because I think it's going to be a very interactive session. Um, Take out your laptops, let us know, write some notes down, follow along with her. I really just want to open up the floor. Welcome, Adiza. Thank you so much for joining us. We're really excited to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. Let me share my screen.
Yes,
So yeah,
please.
hello everyone. I think we have quite a few people joining, so I believe it's going to be very, very interactive. If you have your laptop, just do well to open it up and let's go through this interesting session. So, what we are going to do today is we are going to create a generative AI application, which, with the help of Vertex AI, we'll be using Vertex AI to do that. And we'll be doing it on the Google Cloud platform. Yeah, so what we'll be doing is creating a generative chat app with Vertex AI conversation. So this is me, a WTM ambassador. I do a lot of talks, as Patient said. I do a lot of technical talks as well as soft ones as well. So what we'll be doing, just like I said, is an introduction to Vertex AI, and Vertex AI is a Google Cloud platform that gives you the advantage of more of like developing a cloud platform and being able to deploy it. So you can do everything within it without necessarily going out to use other things. So you can embed APIs, you can have your front end, you can have everything in there. Then you also have the opportunity to maybe copy that, then you can embed it in your application wherever. It could be a WordPress application, sorry, it could be a WordPress website, it could be um an application that you are probably developing. So what we'll be going through is I'll do a demo of the end results, what we would be expecting after this short presentation. So the demo is going to be an application that I developed that basically helps you to ask questions to a chatbot so that it will give you answers regarding tourist sites in Ghana. So the prerequisite is the things that you actually need to be able to follow up this particular session. So you need to have Google Cloud credits. And the interesting thing about Google Cloud credits is if this is your first time being part of the cloud, Google Cloud platform, they give you access to, I think, 300 credits. So if this is your first time, just type Google Cloud and you'll be able to access that platform. Then the roles that we'll be doing is we'll be using Vertex AI and Dialogflow. So just like I said, Vertex AI houses all the large language models that we are going to use. Then the Dialogflow is an API which will help us to specifically create a conversational chatbot that we are going to use. Then we would also use, of course, Chrome or browser. Then these local assets are the PDFs and documents that I use specifically for the demo one that I'll be showing you anytime soon. So this is the end product. So if you can, scan, you get access to it. So you can see this is a simple one that I created and I embedded it in WordPress. So this is the little um, chatbot. So when you click on it, you can see ask something. So I'll just ask it which tourist sites can I visit? Uh, okay, so Accra. So it's asking me which city am I planning to visit. So Accra. Accra is the capital city of Ghana. So this is it. It says Accra is a great choice. There are many popular tourist sites in Accra, such as National Museum, Kwame Nkrumah Museum, and the Independence Square. So this is a likelihood of the process we are going to find out. We would have to do three important things, which is first, we'll be able to create our app, we are able to embed or get our data sources. Then, the end of the day, we are able to connect everything to be able to help us have something like this. And remember, you can be able to have different determining on the data that you are using. So in this case, I use data regarding tourist sites in Ghana. That's why it was able to give me information with that. So you can maybe afterwards you can just go and chat with this application. It's online and accessible anywhere. So that's the end product that you've been able to see. And also, if you are on the call, please scan this code. That's what we'll be using. That is going to help us create the chatbot. So basically, let me just copy and paste it in the platform so that you can You can click on it and be able to pass through and follow me as well. Please, are you here? Patients, can they unmute, or is only one person that can speak? Is patients there? Can you guys hear me? Can anyone hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Great, great. Are you following? Let's see who says you're following. Okay. Yeah, so I think I will just, okay, good, good, good. I don't want to feel like I'm talking alone. So that's why I was asking whether people are following. That's good if you are following. And I hope I'm not going too fast. Yeah. So this is what's going to guide us throughout this application. Again, we are going to create a generative chat app with Vertex AI conversation. It's going to be very simple. It's going to be fast. So just stay around, and if you have any question, please do well. If you have any question, please do well to put it in the chat box, in the chat, and also let me know so that I can probably answer the question. So yeah, so starting with the generative chatbot, we are going to do three things. Just like I said, we are going to create our chat application, and we are going to use a data source. In this case, the application, the demo that I shared with you, I used a bunch of PDF information um about what's the name, about tourist sites tourist sites in Ghana. So in this case, we are going to use, Google already has some data store for us to use. I don't want us to pass through the long process. It's very simple. All we have to do is just call in that folder, and we'll be able to create a simple chat application. So maybe going forward, you can, if you want to go into it or demonstrate more, then you can look at the other aspects. So the first thing is we need to enable APIs. And remember, when I started, I said that we are going to enable dialog flow and also that of Vertex AI, which is going to help us create it. So first we click on this link. So when we click on that link, this is where it takes us to. So if this is your first time, you're going to see enable rather than manage. Because I have already enabled it, you can see manage instead of enable. So if this is your first time, you just click on the enable to be able to access the dialog flow API. Then the next thing is, it says we need to navigate to Vertex AI and Conversation Console. Then again, I said the Vertex AI is it's a platform that is going to help us develop our model, our chatbots. Then we can be able to deploy it at the end of the day. So if you're here again, just click on the Vertex link. So when you click on it, this is what's going to show. So the first thing here, you can see on my far left, we can see create app, and under it we have type, configuration, then data. So the type is basically what type of chatbot are you trying to create. So the thing that we'll be using is conversational agents. But mind you, we realize that Google has recently made some changes saying that Dialogflow CX is almost the same as the conversation agent. So basically these two do the same thing, but there is two ways of following the development of this chatbot if you are using chat. So I'll take you through the chat, which is very, very simple. The process of creating chat is very, very simple. Conversational has a little bit of difficulty here and there, but that one is also easy. No coding here. We are just going to click, 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 input, click, click, and we are done. So we just start with chat. So this is they say the question is which app type do you want to build? So first we are building chats, right? So we click on create. So when you click on create, it brings you here to agent configuration. So you, which is company name. So which company are you creating this chatbot for? So let's just put GDG under it or WTM. Let me see, WTM. So then we have what's your agent name. So what's this agent about? So we can say WTM agent. Okay, it's underscore instead of the so WTM agent. Then the multi-region, we choose the multi-region, which is the highest availability across largest area. Then you just click on continue. So when it comes to um, connecting our data source, you can see here we have the tourist agent. This was the data source I used for the tourist demo initially I showed you. So if this is your first time, you are not going to see this because you don't have a data store already created. But I'll take you through the creating of data store, but I wouldn't really create it at the end, but I'll just take you through the process so that you know the steps and steps that you need to do when it comes to creating a data store. So remember, we started with creating the application. We chose charts. The second thing is the configuration. We need to put in the naming of the company and actually naming of the agents that we are creating. So when we finish that, then the next thing is recreating our data store. This data store is what's going to fetch in where Vertex is able to fetch the data from and also show it to you as and when you query this application. So create data store. So here is it. So if you want to create a data store, you would have to select a data store. So it could either be a website content. So you can this can enable you to input links of websites that can be your source of data. So it could be the example that I talked about, the tourist sites. So I could have just input a lot of websites that talks about Ghana tourist sites. Then it could be my data store where this chat application will be fetching the data from. Or you can look at cloud storage, input buckets, the storage of your data. So it's like the literal meaning of buckets where you store content. So it's like you're storing the content of your data. Yes. So in this case, you can see I have a quite number of buckets. You can see tourist GDG, you can see tourist agent, you can see tourist agent app. So you can create your own bucket, then you upload the data in there. But here again, we wouldn't be using this bucket. We'll be using the data store from Google, which will be fast for us. So this is just to make you aware that you are not really centered on only what Google has given you, but you can basically create your chat application on your preference of data that you are creating. Please, hope you are following. Alex, are you following? Hmm. Someone says unable to access. Really? Come. Hmm. Um. Unfortunately, I can really access that data. Let me resend it to you again. Okay, Alex says he's following. But Alex, are you able to click on the access the link I shared to you earlier on? Okay. Okay, that's fine. So yeah, so we are here. So the second one is import cloud storage. So it could be a file, it could be a folder. And when I browsed, I took you through the bucket section whereby you can use a bucket to work on this project. So the last thing is API. So you can import data manually by calling the API. So you can use Gemini API, you can use other APIs. You can basically develop your own, let's say maybe your own system, then you can create it as an API and still call it into this chatbot. So you're not really contained in one place. You have opportunity to bring in a lot of things for you to be able to work on this project. So on these notes for this particular project, we are going to use the data store that I talked about from Google. So we move on to the third, which is what? Create a new app. And within this app, we have A and B, which is Vertex AI conversation and dialogue flow. So we did that. Then we inputted the company name, in which here it shows Google Store. We also created an agent name, and ours we did a WTM agent. Then we continued and we created a new data store like cloud storage. Then you paste it here. So you can see this green thing showing that it has recognized and accessed it. So you continue. Then you can name your data store. So let's name our data store. Okay, madam. So you name your data store as, let's say, WTM minus underscore agent underscore data store. So we create. So it will take a bit of while because it has to call in all the data that we have connected it with. So we can click on it. So since we have our data, this is our storage of data. So we have the trial, which is the tourist agent. We have this one that we have created. So it would take a bit of while to load the data. So I'll just let us use this tourist agent one. So create. So you can see it says you have successfully created an app, right? So here we click on preview. So we want to see how our application is doing. If it's doing what we want it to do, then we can add additional things to this application. So this is what we have. So here I'll just say hi. So remember we use the tourist application, right? So let's use that's um, query and see. So what is the tourist tourist sites in Ghana? I'm suspecting it wouldn't work. Yeah, because the data has to load and be able to work with so that it will reflect within this application. So let's go back to where we created our data. Then we would make sure that all of the data within the data store we created has actually reflected more of like it has called in all of the data that is going to make good use of it. So usually it takes about 10 minutes before you can actually be able to interact with it. So it's very, very simple. Just like I took you first, you create your application. Second, you click on your configuration, more of naming your agent and all the things that is required of you. Then the last thing is connecting your data. It could be you could use the default one, or you could probably create a bucket where you have the all of the data in there. Then you just call it, then your application is done. It's so simple. There is no difficult aspects of this. So yeah, so let's go back, just like I said. Let's go back and look at our AI application. So you remember we did the WTM agent. So this is it. But let's go back again. I want to show you some interesting aspects. Yeah. So you see here, the app type is charts, as I told you earlier, that was what we used. And view here is connected data sources. So we view to see whether it has actually connected, right? So we click here. So this is all of the data that is being needed. So it has imported all of the data. So events, okay, activity. So this aspect is what really tells us about our data stores. So under this is a trial, which is, I named it trial, which is housing the tourist data set. But you remember we created the BTM data store. Let's go and see where it is, and let's use that one rather, right? So let's go back. So this is the BTM agent. Share this type. Okay. So let's see whether it will be able to recognize again. So still okay. So still we have so the data hasn't reflected. So let's keep a while. Remember I told you that there's two ways to create the application. So this is the first phase. So this all the process that you use to create the application. So the second thing is, let's go back to this tab that is helping us. So this tab here, it says to create a new chat app in Vertex AI conversation. You can either navigate to Vertex AI, which is what we did first, or navigate to Dialogflow CX. So we've been able to go through the Vertex conversation console throughout the process. Then I want to take you through the dialogue flow as well, so that you would see how that one also works. But that one is also similar to Vertex AI. Most of the things that you see, the things needed, they are in different formats of applying it, but it's basically the same process. So we just click on dialogue flow CS. So if you are seeing this, if this is your first time, you would have to create a new project. But because I've already created a project, I'll just use the project, the first agent. Then I would create an agent. Remember, we already created the WTM agent, but I'm creating a different agent because we are using Dialogflow CX in this start. The first time we use Vertex AI, this time around we are using Dialog CS, right? So create agents. So I want you to build your own agent. So we are building our own agent. So we would name our agents. Hmm, so we would name our agents. Can anybody type a random name so that I use to name my agent? Anybody? We have Alex, we have Ayanda, we have um mm, so anybody can just type a name that you think we can use for our agent. Oh, my people, nobody is here. So let me just create an agent, an example one. So let's say GDG underscore WTM. So this could be our agent. Then we create our agent. And that's it. Voila. Easy as A, B, C, D, right? So in this case, we have this, but remember in the other one, we had to input the data. So this is the same process. So with this one, we come to tools. So when we come to tools, then you have to create a tool. So through this process that you would have to input your data store. So in this case, let me name uh, so data store. Then we are using Open API. Then maybe we can describe it assists users to answer questions. Yeah. So here you can just leave the default settings and you will just save. So let's save. Let's go back. Let's go back. So I want you to look at this aspect. We have playbooks. These are actually very important when you want to create your chatbots. As you can see here, it says playbooks just got more capable with routines. So it will be like it's very helpful with task. You can input your goals, you can input descriptions about your chat application. So I would want us to create one, which is routine. So here we would have our goal, we have our instruction, and through this, then we can input our data store. So here we can just name the playbook as GDG underscore GDG agents, right? So here we'll say assist users to answer questions. Yeah. So the instructions could be like it has a lot of things that you can add. You can set the chatbot like how it's able to converse with the users. You can give it instruction of how to answer users, and you can even import other data or tools that you can use for this chatbot. So here you can see that it says use into bracket tool, example tool name. So the tool could be anything. And also you can input playbook. All of this are very good to give you like the sole opportunity to change the application by how you want it to. So here we'll just write greet the user. Yeah. I think I wrote some. So the second thing, if necessary, seek more clarification, right, of details. Yeah. Then when you scroll down here, you can see data store. But before that, oh, I wanted to save it. Oh, okay, let me go back. Um, I wanted to save it. I didn't save the playbook. Let me just create a simple one here. GDG underscore agent. Then assist users to answer questions. Then our instructions here will be basically greet the user, then ask how you can help. Then the next instruction is, if necessary, seek clarification. Right? Yeah. So that's it. So we save this playbook. So this playbook is saved. Then under the available tools, here we are able to connect our data store. So under this, it gives you much more opportunity, just like the other aspects gave us. So let's just click on data store. So here we name our data store, which is GDG. I don't know why I'm using GDG, but okay, let me use WTM. This is just naming, so it doesn't really matter. Agents. Okay, data store, because that's what's going to give us our data. Then we can just put description, assist users to answer questions. Then under where you can see data store, add data store, create data store. So let me take you through add data store. So here you can see we've already created quite a number of data store here. So we can use any of them, or we can create the data store. Remember, we went through the website and the links, where you can be able to put in links so that it would scrap all of the data or the information from the website into your chatbot. You can do that with this process. Then you can also use the cloud storage, which was browsing and getting access to your buckets wherever you created it. You just access it here. Then you can also use cloud storage, which is what this is basically. It's similar to the other one, but this is the one that you can actually create your bucket. So you see the other one is, let's go back. So we have the cloud storage, which is if you already have your cloud storage sitting somewhere, you can just put it here and you put in your link to get that cloud storage that you want to import into your chat app. Then we have the cloud storage, and you can see it's unstructured data. In this case, it could be a PDF, it could be a file, it could be an HTML document, it could be anything. So this is where you can be able to browse and get your buckets of data. So it's quite similar to the other one, but just that this one has a different way of approaching how to create the chat app. So I think that's it. So in this case, let's use the one that I've already created. So add data store. Let's just use data store here and confirm. So when we confirm here, then we would have to save. So let's create our company name. Otherwise, it wouldn't help us to go forward. I think everything is checked. The most necessary things are checked, which is the name, the type, the description, and the data store that we would be using. So we save. So we save our data. But you see, data store processing available in 10 minutes. So it could probably even be more than that. But once everything is synchronized, you would see that chunking gets to it will be yes, which means everything is going on well. Then you can be able to communicate and test your application. You can test your chat app. So we don't have, I think we have much less time. So we'll just move on to the other aspect of this application. So maybe someone will be asking, after being able to create or go through all this process, I've got my data, I've been able to create my application, I've been able to connect with my application, and have seen that everything is connected well, and I have my chat app where I'm able to communicate with it. What's next? What's next is you would have to test your application to see if it's actually working well. So this is where you can be able to test your application. You can just communicate with it, but in this case we can't because our data hasn't been fully embedded in our application. So let me see if it's working. Latest Google phone. Let me see if it's working. No, it's not. Okay, so it's working. I can help you with that. Could you please clarify what you would like to know or do regarding the latest Google phone? What example are you looking for information about it? Want to purchase it or something else? So price of Google Pixel. Let me see if it's working. No, I said it didn't really fully um input the data. So maybe let's wait for a bit. It's still processing and the chunk is still low. So if it finishes processing and the chunking gets to be yes, then you can be able to communicate and interact with your chat application. So we'll just move on to how maybe, let's say hypothetically, if our data has been able to load and chunking gets to yes and we are able to communicate with our agents, then what's next? Maybe I have my business platform that sells Pixel phones. I want to have a chat application whereby my users will come on the platform, be able to chat with it, and actually know the prices of the Pixel phones and the latest ones, and maybe the watches and other items that they want to purchase. How can I remove this chatbot and be able to embed it in whatever application I can? It's so easy. The first thing you would need is making sure your application is working fine. Then, if you confirm that it's working fine, you just come here. You can see integrations, right? You click on integrations. So, under integrations, you can see how you can integrate this application. You can integrate it into different platforms, from conversation messenger to Facebook messenger to Google chat to Slack to you name it. Even Telegram is here. Yeah, you have other means of integrating it. But we created the conversational messenger. So that's what we are going to do. So you connect messenger, then you enable conversation messenger. That's what to be able to access the chatbot that you have created, right? Then you can see here, I'm coming, let me say done. Let me go back again. So let's disable it. I want you to look at something. So connect. So here it says choose a UI style. So how the chatbot is going to appear on your application. You want it to be something like this, which is like a pop-up, like what I did. Mine is a pop-up, so it's not statically on the platform. If you need it before you are able to access it. So coming to that aspect, that's where you can choose. So maybe you don't want it to be pop-up, you want it to be a side panel. It will just be there automatically. You can choose the side panel, then you enable conversational messenger, then you would copy the codes, right? You copy the codes, then you can go and embed it in your application. This is very, very simple. So it's more like helping you create your chat app. Then at the end of the day, you test, you do everything that you want to do with it, then you put it into your application. So I think that's all for this simple session. I think this is has been insightful for me. I hope it has been to you. Okay, so I can see Leseho. He said, "What database can you put in data store?" So for I don't know if by data store database you mean like the data application, or is it the data type? If you mean by data type, I remember I clicked on data storage. I showed you where you can be able to um, import, you can be able to upload your data, you can be able to upload HTML data. And remember, it was a structured, it was unstructured data. Let me just go there. So here it was. Let's go back to conversation. Let's go back to our playbook and click on our playbook, our data store here, and we can see here, so create data. So here cloud storage, so it could be unstructured. And here is it, import unstructured documents. So it could be PDF, it could be HTML, TXT, and many more. So you can know more about what other data that it could take. So that's it. Lesuho, I don't know if I've been able to answer your question. So I think that's all that I have for you today. Thank you so much for having me. If you have any question, please do well to ask, and you can probably also connect with me. I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on most of the social media platforms. Thank you so much. Over to you, Patience.
Okay, thanks for your talk there, Adiza. I actually wanted to ask you quickly, in terms of the databases that you can use for data store, what types can you connect?
So I think I answered that, but maybe you weren't. Yeah, so I don't know. Are you talking about the importation of the data, or is it the data type? If it's the data
Yeah,
type,
both.
both. Okay, so I think I shared it. And when you create your bucket, you have opportunity to bring in, import your own data that you want to use. So it could be that you already have a data somewhere that has, you can access it through an API. So you just get the link and use it. Or again, you can use unstructured data if you don't have a structured data. So unstructured data could be a PDF, a text document, or an HTML document. So you can use that, you can just upload that one again, and Vertex AI itself will be able to make meaning out of that data. Hope I've been able to answer your question.
Okay, thanks. Yeah.
Mm.
Thank you so much, Adiza. If there's anybody that has any last questions for her before we close the session, please just put it in the comments. Giving it about 5 seconds, so you have to type fast. But thank you very much, Adiza. I think I followed also through the session. I didn't have my laptop, but I was watching what you were doing, and I know some people, like Alex said in the chat, he was following through. Where can we? Maybe if we have questions that we can't ask you here, where can we message you? Is LinkedIn? Where can we get you?
Yeah, you can message me on LinkedIn and I will do well to answer. So Adiza Alhassan, same name on LinkedIn.
Thank you so much, Adiza. I'm not seeing any last comments in the chat, so I'm guessing that's the last question that we have. But definitely, we'll message you on LinkedIn if there's any questions that we have for you. And for everybody else at home, please just note that the session will be on YouTube again if you want to reference back, or get to know something that you maybe forgot in the session. So we're going to put it on YouTube, on our different social media platforms. That's LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. So that's where we're going to be. I don't know if there's anybody else that, oh, I see great session. That's some of the comments that we have in. I think it was a very nice session. It was really nice, how you walked through everything. You were very thorough with your walkthrough, and even coming up with possible questions that we might have, if we're sitting at home. So it was a very good session. Thank you so much again for coming here at GDG Soweto. We really appreciate it. Um, I don't know if there's any final comments from anybody else, but for me, I think that is what I have to say. Thank you so much again, Adiza, for joining us. We really appreciate it all the way from Ghana. Thank you so much.